Brittney Griner is, in fact, a man. One of the videos that give us cause to say that.
Brittney Griner, who was imprisoned in Russia, in a man's prison.
When Brittney posted this and it stayed up for 106 weeks, was not like, oh, this is a female chest, we have to take this down. Oftentimes, if breast cancer runs in a family, women will preemptively get like double mastectomies. There's some great surgeons out there, don't get me wrong, but I don't see any scars on Brittney's chest that would be indicative of a double mastectomy or top surgery for gender transition.
Brittney Griner has gone into complete panic mode after jaw-dropping medical revelations emerged in the wake of her attack on Caitlin Clark. The details disclosed by medical experts have sent ripples through the WNBA and beyond. What they uncovered flips the entire narrative on its head. The league is scrambling. Griner remains silent. And now, the truth is starting to break through. Brittney Griner, for many, stands as the symbol of the ultimate woke identity in sports. Black, gay, and female. But now,
that Brittney Griner, the WNBA's Brittney Griner, is in fact a man. And where a lot of this actually surfaced from, and I mean, you guys could probably say like, yo, isn't it obvious? Like her voice, you know, there's a lot of things that you can kind of look toward.
No, the question isn't just whether her behavior was out of line. It's whether these medical findings are even more shocking than her now infamous actions. The WNBA has said nothing, and that silence is louder than ever. The entire WNBA universe has been flipped upside down, and Griner's panic, it goes far deeper than just the racial attack on Caitlin Clark. It's tied to a much bigger truth. Doctors have stepped forward with claims so explosive, they make her trash white girl insults sound like childish playground banter. The quiet from Griner and the league office. It's not just suspicious anymore, it looks incriminating. Riley's point still stands. Flip the script. If a white player had said the same thing in reverse.
Griner?
Oh God, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So dude, like, is this a woman?
Imagine the outrage. The double standards are wild, especially in a league that wears its virtue signaling on its sleeve. And let's not forget the insane fact that Griner was traded for the Merchant of Death. If it had been a straight white girl instead, chances are she'd still be wasting away in a Russian prison. So let's rewind and look at what actually happened in that now infamous matchup. Griner hit Clark with a deliberate elbow. No way to sugarcoat it. Then, as she walked off the court, she clearly mouthed the words, "trash effing white girl." Multiple lip-reading experts confirmed it. The video left no doubt. It wasn't subtle. It was blatantly racist. But here's where the story takes an unexpected and wild turn.
Detected. And so, I mean, whatever AI detection, you know, glanced over this thing, did not flag it. Like, they clearly was like, okay, this is just a man with their chest exposed.
When medical professionals reviewed the footage, they didn't just focus on her words. They started analyzing her physical traits and behavior. What they found shocked even them. The sports medicine world is shaken, and the WNBA wants none of this getting out. We're not talking about conspiracy theories here. These are actual credentialed professionals raising red flags. According to their findings, Brittney Griner might not biologically qualify as a woman. Let's go to the clip that sparked this firestorm. It's from Griner's own Instagram stories, posted more than 2 years ago, screenshot and circulated online about a year back. Let's hit play and then unpack what's going on. Swaggy Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab step, brick swing.
Griner is a weird case. He's a man, yes, that much is obvious, but not the way you think. He isn't trans, he's straight.
A straight
cis male.
Sorry, it's not a typical word. Sorry.
Yeah, made up words, it's okay.
What immediately caught the attention of doctors was Griner's bone structure and muscle mass. Experts in gender-based athletic performance started studying her frame, and it didn't match. The expected development of female athletes, her jawline, shoulder width, and overall skeletal structure were rare, extremely rare, in biological females, even those at the elite level. But that wasn't the end of the analysis. Doctors dove into her voice patterns, movement biomechanics, and even her injury history. The combination of all these markers led them to a startling conclusion, one that could destroy Griner's career and bring serious consequences for the WNBA. Multiple independent medical experts now question whether Griner was ever properly vetted for female competition. Their professional opinion leans toward no. Why? For one, that Instagram video was uploaded directly to Griner's account. Instagram relies heavily on both AI and manual review to detect nudity. If the system had flagged the content as female nudity, it would have been removed instantly, but it wasn't. That's because the AI likely identified Griner's anatomy as male.
Gendered people, like, I think
They should have their own.
super interesting, yeah, like a super interesting boxing match would be a man transitioning to a woman boxing a woman transitioning into a man. It'd be I would definitely bet on that.
Sounds like
The panic Griner's now experiencing? It's not just about the fallout from racist remarks. It's about what happens if these medical findings spark a full-blown investigation. The implications? Massive. The doctors suggest that serious questions about her eligibility to play in women's sports were never addressed, let alone resolved. Now, from a strictly medical lens, things get even more damning. That Instagram video, Griner topless, wasn't just reviewed by trolls. It was analyzed by trained medical professionals, and what they saw didn't line up with female physiology. The shape of her chest, muscle distribution, and torso development all aligned more with male anatomy. Not even female athletes who've had surgery display these patterns, and yet this is the WNBA's star. Brittney Griner, the league's golden name.
If I see Brittney in at 7-Eleven, I will call him a hey. And if he trans, and my first reaction will be to call him a him.
Might in fact be biologically male. Plenty of people have speculated based on voice or height, but this video reignited the entire conversation. It was dug up from over 2 years ago, resurfaced recently on Twitter, and triggered a storm. Let's roll it again. Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the fuck out of here. The fact that Instagram's AI didn't label the clip as female nudity is more than just a technical hiccup. These detection systems are trained on millions of data points and are incredibly accurate when distinguishing male versus female features. The system didn't see female anatomy. That's a big deal. Medical professionals are also scrutinizing Griner's injury recovery times and contact absorption. Her body responds more like a male athlete, more resilient to impact, quicker to bounce back, and able to build muscle at a rate that female athletes can't match. These aren't small differences, they're foundational. The kind of physiological advantages that can't be bridged with training or conditioning. Now throw in the psychological analysis. Experts who've reviewed Griner's actions during the Clark incident note disturbing behavior patterns. They describe deep emotional triggers, possibly linked to identity struggles or inner turmoil. The violence wasn't just impulsive, it looked premeditated. And the slur? It wasn't just heated talk, it felt like it came from a deeper place of conflict. But here's what's really fueling the panic. The medical community isn't backing down. They're demanding full-scale biological testing. We're talking chromosome mapping, hormone profiling, bone density scans, and muscular assessments. Tests that leave no room for doubt. And yet, what has the WNBA said? Absolutely nothing. Despite mounting evidence, they haven't called for independent testing, released any kind of statement, or even acknowledged the medical reports. They're pretending none of this exists, shielding Griner while ignoring serious integrity concerns. And now experts are pressing even harder. How did Griner pass through the league's vetting process in the first place? Who reviewed her medical paperwork? Was it real? Was it even verified? These are questions that cut right to the heart of fairness in women's sports. And here's where the stakes go nuclear. If Griner's found to have competed under false biological status, it could wipe out her accolades, championships, and even trigger lawsuits. Athletes who were denied opportunities could demand justice. The financial fallout alone would be brutal. Griner's edge isn't just height or strength, it's in her entire biology. Her reach, muscle mass, recovery time, all indicators of male athletic patterns. And when those traits are used to physically dominate or assault smaller players like Caitlin Clark, it stops being about sports. It becomes a safety issue. Viewed through this lens, the attack on Clark isn't just dirty play. It's a disturbing act made worse by unacknowledged advantages, and that's why Brittney Griner is spiraling. The truth may finally be catching up. What makes this even more outrageous isn't just the dirty play. It's the very real possibility that a biological male used superior strength to overpower and harm a female athlete. Mental health experts are also chiming in, warning about the psychological toll this controversy is taking on other women in the league. Watching someone with disputed Eligibility physically attack and racially insult the league's most prominent star sends a chilling message. Female athletes might not be safe, even in their own sport, and the psychological damage, it's bigger than one incident. It threatens the entire culture of women's basketball. The involvement of the medical community has completely shifted the conversation. What once got dismissed as fringe conspiracy talk is now being validated by certified professionals. When experts in sports medicine start flagging issues about eligibility, the league can't just brush it off anymore. The evidence is rooted in science, and silence isn't a responsible response. Doctors are also warning of what's at stake for the future of women's sports. If these findings are confirmed, allowing an athlete with questionable biology to dominate sets a dangerous precedent. It could crack the door wide open for similar situations to spread across all levels of women's athletics. The integrity of female competition relies on enforcing biological boundaries, and right now, those boundaries are under threat. Grier's current state of panic is also being fueled by what this could mean legally. If medical analysis confirms she used male biological advantages to assault another female player, the charges might escalate beyond just a simple on-court altercation. The law views violence very differently when there's a significant physical imbalance between the people involved. Sports medicine specialists are pushing for immediate reform, full-scale testing protocols that verify the biological status of every WNBA athlete. The current method of self-identification backed by minimal paperwork is nowhere near enough to protect fair play. Women deserve to compete against biological females, not against individuals hiding behind unverifiable advantages. The medical revelations surrounding Griner also cast her past complaints in a new light. Her public frustrations with crowd reactions and fan scrutiny take on a deeper meaning when you consider she may have been trying to avoid being exposed. Her defensive attitude and victim narrative now look like calculated attempts to distract from uncomfortable truths. Psychologists are now diving deeper into her pattern of aggressive play. From consistently bullying smaller opponents to visibly relishing the discomfort she causes, her behavior aligns with what experts often see in individuals hiding something significant, be it their identity or their eligibility. And the panic doesn't stop with Griner, it's bleeding into her support system. Teammates, coaches, and league officials who shielded her or looked the other way might now be implicated in a much broader cover-up. If these medical findings prove accurate, then this isn't just about one athlete, it's about an entire institution possibly protecting a lie. This controversy also stretches beyond American borders. Given Griner's past legal trouble in Russia, revelations that she may have competed internationally under false pretenses could trigger diplomatic fallout and scrutiny toward other American athletes. But here's what the doctors are adamant about. Their concerns aren't political. They're not rooted in hate or bias. They're grounded in observable data, bone density, muscle mass, anatomical structure. The science is what it is, and it doesn't bend for public opinion. And the facts are becoming harder and harder to ignore. Another layer that's deeply troubling is the psychological impact on Caitlin Clark. Being physically assaulted and racially targeted by someone with potential biological advantages isn't just a bad day at the office, it's trauma. Clark has shown resilience, but the emotional scars from competing in an environment where her safety isn't guaranteed could linger far beyond this season. Sports medicine experts are warning that this case could set a blueprint for how other leagues and sports handle eligibility concerns. The testing methods used on Griner might eventually become standard across the board, and that could change the face of women's competition forever. Financially, Griner has a lot to lose. Her panic is also tied to what this might do to her. Brand, endorsements, sponsorships, future deals. Companies that backed her could start distancing themselves fast if it turns out she was never eligible to compete in the first place. The reputational fallout alone could be career-ending. Still, medical professionals keep stressing, this isn't personal, it's about fairness. It's about protecting female athletes who fought for equal footing. If athletes with unclear biological status are allowed to compete, then every record, every victory, every opportunity becomes suspect, and the progress women have made risks getting erased. There's also the matter of Griner's legacy. If the findings prove she had unacknowledged biological advantages, then her entire record, every stat, every title could be viewed as tainted. History might have to be rewritten, and for women's basketball, that could be a devastating rewrite. The doctors stepping into this debate have forced a level of transparency the WNBA has tried hard to avoid. When credentialed medical experts start raising red flags, it's no longer possible to label it as hate or ignorance. The scientific community is demanding answers, and it won't be satisfied with silence. What makes this moment so huge isn't just the controversy itself, it's what it could mean for competitive integrity across all sports. If Griner is proven to have competed under false circumstances, every athletic organization will have to rethink how they test, verify, and regulate their players. The ripple effects could reshape the entire future of sports. The fear Griner's feeling right now is only the beginning. More medical professionals are joining the conversation every day, and the demand for thorough testing and investigation is growing louder. When science gets involved, the truth has a funny way of showing up, loud and clear. But maybe the most damning piece of all? It's not even the potential deception, it's what this says about the WNBA. Their unwillingness to acknowledge obvious red flags and their refusal to act in the face of growing evidence is painting a picture of an organization more interested in optics than integrity. The data emerging from medical professionals points to a systemic breakdown. A failure by the league to enforce rules that protect fairness in competition and safeguard the women who play. And if the truth is confirmed through proper testing, this could easily become the biggest scandal women's pro sports has ever seen. But the medical bombshells surrounding Brittney Griner go far beyond a slur. The doctors are demanding answers, and those answers might change women's sports forever. Griner's fear, it's justified, because science doesn't lie, and the truth is finally here. Smash that like button if you think biological testing should be mandatory, and subscribe for more explosive breakdowns.